This track from Frank Ocean is called DHL. Yeah, it's an unexpected delivery. Shout out DHL, man. They're always on time or early. You can't hate on him. Frank Ocean's been relatively silent ever since his addition to Carousel off of ASTROWORLD. I don't know what's inspired him to come out of his shell. Maybe it's the addition to the 200 albums of the decade and Pitchfork giving him the #1 spot. Maybe he's genuinely happy that he actually got his delivery on time. Or maybe he's about to start dropping singles up until we get an eventual album. Already been almost 4 years since he's dropped an album. I know. Time flies faster than my homies when I tell him I'm about to cry. See what he's got.
Bucks, star, struck, bitch coming soon. Put in the Amazon, feel like 6'5".
Whoa, I pause on the best part.
Came from the DHL, just got a money bill, got a
I'm really tired of these musicians always knowing exactly where to hit me, the spot. They know exactly the spot and they poke it every single time. All you have to do to get me fully invested, fully on your side, is to add a synth in between all this random chaos and spaciness, and I'm just loose. I just turn into mush. Here's another synth hoe that did it to me recently. Finally came. I'm not too crazy about this filter on his voice or whatever that might be, and I'm also not too crazy about the lack of melody in the synth itself, but just the fact that it adds such a psychedelia to the track. And he says in the chorus, DHL, I got a pack, it's coming soon, like we're high, we're on a trip right now. That synth is like a rare Pokemon, just floating in the distance.
Sound like it's coming soon, coming soon. It's sucking like a hoover, like a hoover.
Tell him to calm down, he's sucking a little too hard if you're sucking like a hoover. That is so messed up, man. He's like slapping me in the face for saying that you're like you're stupid for thinking that this is new material. Old file sitting on my drive like it's new. Like it's new to us, but it's old to him. We're not getting a new album, I know it. Like this is the song that's got us thinking that we got a package coming soon, but it's not gonna come. Frank is an ass. If I just like close my eyes really tightly and I just think, it almost feels like rise and shine. This track is extremely low key, extremely smooth, possibly due to what sounds like it might be a bass guitar, I'm not sure. He's got a really laid back, low tone, really monotone delivery, really low key flow, which for myself, I'm not usually the biggest fan of, but whenever Frank does tend to rap, it's usually not that filled with expression, so I'm not really surprised that he would go with this type of style for a track like this. Also, I do think he's much more expressive and more noticeable as a singer as opposed to a rapper, but he's doing a lot more rapping on this track, pretty much no singing at all, which I think could have been a nice contrast for the low-key tone of this track. I would have liked to hear what he would have had to say if he were just singing all the way through, as opposed to giving us this emotionless kind of drugged out delivery, which I do kind of understand is the point with this song and the structure of it. This track is really simple, but it's something really attractive about it to me. It's like it just pulls me into the whole experience despite it being so simplified. And that's usually the experience that I get with a lot of Frank Ocean music, is that it comforts me in a lot of ways that other musicians just don't. And I feel that's his usefulness to me, like that's a part of his aid. I do wish that the synth that was used, I think before the chorus hit, was a bit more filled with melody, kind of something that may have, it almost gave me like a Pissy Pamper, Kid Cudi vibe from Playboy Cardi and Young Nudie. I think it would have been a nice addition, a nice like stamp for this song, just to give you an attractive quality beyond the aesthetic of it, to get you to come back to it, something a little bit more melody driven, something a bit more catchy. But all in all, I do really like the track. I can't really be mad at it. It's more for me than I think it probably is for other people, but I'm sure people will still like it. But I'm sure there's going to be a handful of people that really don't like it, and I can understand why. It alludes to him possibly having something dropping soon. It alludes to him being high. He mentions old files at one point on this track. So like delivery, like we expect something, but it might not actually come, but it might. I don't know. It's really confusing. Things don't seem to be as complicated as they were before. Things don't seem to be as drawn out as they were before. He seems to have more control in this song, and it seems more like he's doing what he wants to do. So whenever he feels the need to record, whenever he feels the need to drop, whenever he feels the need to start working on something, he can do it when he feels like it. But as he says on this track, he's in his bag. He's doing his own thing, what he wants to do, and I like that. You know, I like the way it comes out on this track. So I like it. Let me know how you felt about it in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Do not Kylie Jenner stop.